Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another spicy episode of the Sanity stream with Lucius Coal. If you like this type of content, go down below, like, subscribe, share, and of course leave a comment if you think I deserve it. The coal factory and the coal train on our way to 1,000 patriots strong, thanks to people like you watching content like this. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, today's show is a little bit different. Nothing too crazy, ladies and gentlemen, but as you see here, bit of a better quality going on here, guys. I got two nice little lights right here. Still working on the background, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot get the green screen to work for the life of me. I seem to just magically just start beaming red. I am a red man whenever I get in front of that green screen. For all of you techies out there, if you maybe could let me know, I've been doing some research on it. I cannot figure it out for the life of me. And of course, I just put some brand new filters on, as well as a brand new microphone. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Is it where it needs to be? Do I need to change a couple things around? Please let me know. Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. With that said, let's get into today's show. First of all, for those of you who haven't seen this video, it is absolutely insane right now. For all of the propaganda that's currently being pushed right now, trying to make it seem as if the vaccine is safe, they are doing an absolutely terrible job. There was a recent video being pushed out about a man getting his second treatment of the vaccination from the koof, and yet there was nothing actually in the syringe. And then here we have this woman who just recently received her shot, a nurse, you know, mad respect, actually going out there and helping people that have the koof. But again, these are the types of people that are being put out there to try to show that the vaccine is safe. And at the end of the day, I just want a safe vaccine. There's numerous reports coming out. Recently on NBC, a man came out and said that regardless of if you get both vaccinations or not, you still have to wear a mask and you still have to social distance. At that point, then what's the point of actually getting the vaccine? I thought it was supposed to make you immune. I thought it was supposed to create the antibodies inside of you so that you cannot get it again. How exactly... Either way, guys, take a look at this. It's absolute insanity. These are the people that they're pushing out right now to try to calm our fears.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The camera's just like, oh my god. It just pans away. It's like, this is not good. Is this live? We're doing it live. We're doing it live. Voice crack, ladies and gentlemen. But oh my god. If you're trying to put out there that this is a safe vaccine, then why in God's name are these the people you're pushing forward? It's just time after time after time after time. These total follies. And people spread this around. How exactly are you going to expect a massive amount of the population to actually come out and take this vaccine when you continually see information like this, as well as information coming out of London, or the UK rather, about 4 of the patients that actually went through trials having Bell's palsy, meaning their face was essentially totally screwed up. But again, insanity. And if you think it gets any better, ladies and gentlemen, take a look. Andrew Yang, this is from Summit.News. Andrew Yang calls for barcodes to identify people who have been vaccinated. The mark of the beast, ladies and gentlemen. We are well on our way. For all those people that got behind Andrew Yang and just what a wonderful person he was, what an economic genius, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at some of his other proposals here. Former presidential candidate Andrew Yang has called for people to be required to prove they've been vaccinated before entering venues by showing a barcode on their phones. Is there a way for someone to easily show that they've been vaccinated, like a barcode they can download to their phone? There ought to be, tweeted Yang. Yang suggested that people also be given bracelets before they're allowed to interact more freely, while also suggesting those who don't take the vaccine be denied entries to sports games and other events. Tough to have mass gatherings like concerts or ball games without either mass adoption of the vaccine or a means of signaling. Virtue signaling, ladies and gentlemen. Who cares? This vaccine was pushed out in record time. God willing, people actually say, hey, you know what? I'm not anti-vax, but I just want to see what the underlying conditions that are being put out right now. Maybe I'll wait a year, maybe I'll wait 2 years before I actually decide to vaccinate myself with this type of thing. Maybe I've already had the koof, and you know what, maybe I don't need it at all. But again, this is the step towards tyranny, another step in terms of medical tyranny. All of the people, especially on my side of the aisle, the Trump people, that have been saying that, no, this is a secret master plan, that this isn't about a vaccine, that this is Trump fighting big pharma. Ladies and gentlemen, we just had the largest wealth transfer in the history of the United States, bigger than Obama, who bailed out all the car companies, AIG, insurance companies, the big banks, the whole 9 yards, ladies and gentlemen. And then we had one Republican actually stand up and say, you know what, this is wrong, I am not going to vote for this. And then Donald Trump himself stated that that guy should not be part of the Republican Party. Sometimes heroes have to stand alone, ladies and gentlemen. But again, this is another step towards medical tyranny. I don't think any of us are surprised at this point. But again, one thing that may surprise you is this. Take a look. This is coming out of RT right now. Being an anti-vaxxer in Brazil is about to get a whole lot harder as the Supreme Court passes legislation requiring citizens to take a coronavirus vaccine unless they wish to face sanctions. This is from supposedly a based company. Might as well call it a company at this point, right? There's no country anymore, ladies and gentlemen, all owned by the big corporations, the multimedia industrial complex, as well as the military industrial complex and the banks. But this is supposed to be Bolsonaro. This is supposed to be a country that is based, that is freedom based. This country didn't have any major lockdowns in terms of the koof, and yet now they're going to be pushing out legislation. No, not even pushing out. They have made it law that you must take the vaccine or face sanctions. What those sanctions are, who knows? Who knows? It's insane to me, guys. Like, all of us freedom-loving patriots, we're going to end up becoming like the commies. It's going to be kind of crazy because I don't see the pushback. I don't see the fight. I don't see the average everyday normie willing to actually fight for this country. You know, it's kind of hard when you are in this political sphere 24/7. Maybe you watch a couple different influencers. Maybe you go watch Ryan Dawson, then you go watch Anomaly, then you go watch Timcast, then you go watch Paul Joseph Watson, Salty Cracker, Viva Fry, just to name a few. Robert Barnes, the People's Pundit. I mean, the list goes on and on, ladies and gentlemen. I do not see this actually happening inside of the normies. I just don't see it. I don't see it. Now, I pray that I'm wrong, ladies and gentlemen, but this fight is going to come down to basically a 1% of the population. That's what it's going to come down to. Now, 1% of the population is larger than China's standing army. So it's not like we need this massive, huge, giant force. I mean, 1% of the population alone would be enough to do it. But at the end of the day, and the reason why I kind of said we're going to end up becoming the commies, I don't actually mean that in a literal sense. I mean that in terms of similar how these commies end up making communes. I think that's what's going to end up happening on the right. People are going to leave the big cities, which they already are, in mass, in droves, going from blue states to red states while they continue to vote for the same exact trash that they ran away from. That's the left for you. But again, I see people moving into little pockets of freedom, because I just don't see the fight. I just don't. People are going to be going to Wyoming, Texas, South Carolina, West Virginia, Tennessee, places where there is still freedom and people fighting back. Florida, decently based again. But again, now this is happening in Brazil, and I don't expect it to get any better. Speaking of things not getting better, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who haven't seen, we all know what's going on in terms of the Supreme Court, obviously saying that they couldn't take up the Texas case, ladies and gentlemen. Bush v. Gore, I don't even know what that is. What's Bush v. Gore? I've never heard of it. Ladies and gentlemen, these people have no will. They have no moral standing. They will not stand up and do the right thing out of fear. Fear of the radical left. And this man right here really highlights exactly what I'm talking about. Take a look.
It was written by someone who's a current staffer for one of the Supreme Court justices. And this, I'll just describe the report to you that I read, and you can make of it what you will. He said that the justices, as they always do, went into a closed room to discuss, cases they're taking or do debate. There's no phones, no computers, no nothing. No one else is in the room except for the 9 justices. It's typically very civil. They usually don't hear any sound. They just debate what they're.
So again, and just for context, guys, so this is a report that came out that this man is actually citing that one of the Supreme Court justices' aides or staffers actually overheard. So just some context there. Let's keep going.
But when the Texas case was brought up, he said he heard screaming through the walls as Justice Roberts and the other liberal justices were insisting that this case not be taken up. When Justice Thomas and Justice Alito were citing Bush versus Gore from John Roberts, were, I don't give up about that case. I don't want to hear about it. At that time, we didn't have riots.
And that's where it is, ladies and gentlemen. Fear. Fear to actually make the right decision. And Donald Trump is now getting not what he deserves. I think that's too heavy-handed. I'm still a giant supporter of Trump, but Trump's biggest fault was actually working hand in hand with the neocons, thinking that he could get the job done, thinking that he could simply charismatically get these people alone and work within the system. What he didn't understand is that the system is so rotten to the core that literally nothing he could have said or done would have changed the way that they do business. Which is why when he removed, and I bring this up all the time, when he removed General Flynn and Bannon, he lost his most 2 critical allies in the White House. Steve Mnuchin going up and working for the Federal Reserve, the Treasury, another Goldman Sachs guy, putting people into positions of power that did not need to be there. He had the opportunity to make Mark Meadows one of the strongest people in the Republican Party, a true populist by nearly all accounts. Imperfect, yes. Much better than the establishment by a long mile. And he failed to do so. And now he's seeing people like McConnell and Lindsey Graham stab him in the back over and over and over again. I brought that up in the last podcast. Absolute insanity, ladies and gentlemen. But now is the time to fight back. Some people are actually deciding to fight back. And these are going to be the people that actually stand up and say, all of the discrepancies in terms of this election cannot simply be overlooked. That this is a massive, massive, massive amount of fraud. And that if this is not brought to heel today, our republic is lost. So people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, believe she's in the House, on January 6th, I will hold the line and object to fraudulent electoral votes from several states, including Georgia. President real Donald Trump has fought for us. Now is the time to fight for him. Some great comments. Cruz, Rand, Tuberville all sound like they're up for it. We need a couple more. We need all of them. It's do or die time, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sick of the rhetoric. I'm sick of the talk. At the end of the day, the people that actually stand up and fight for Trump after this absolute catastrophe that was 2020 are the true populists and are the true GOP. So anybody that dares to actually listen to McConnell's orders, his edict, stating that he didn't want anyone actually standing up for the president, and I can't wait for this election runoff, because the Democrats are going to smash both Republicans in the state of Georgia. And it's going to be very well deserved, because these people think they can bring this party back to the George Bush era and the Romney era and the Paul Ryan and the John McCains. I don't think so. It's our party now. And after they lose, if they refuse to allow us as populists to actually move into the party, it is only then that a third party must be born, because we have no other choice. And if the Supreme Court refuses law, then secession is the only option. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lucius Coal. If you like this type of content, go down below, like, subscribe, share. Again, let me know what you think. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm working on the green screen right now. I really want to, I really like that setup, being able to, show you guys the entire context of what's going on and not kind of have me smashed in the corner there. This lighting's a lot better. I have a blue filter on. It's kind of decent. I got different colors. Maybe I'll just pull this thing up for 30 bucks. And for those of you, I kind of want to bring this up at the very end here. This is a picture of The Simpsons back in 1989. They are imperfect. There's a saying in business, it's called just ship it. And I think people on the right, people like myself even, we tend to get caught up in the weeds a lot. We base a lot of our own decisions on morality and doing the right thing. And unfortunately, doing the right thing sometimes means doing the right thing like halfway, because you haven't gained the competence yet.
Auto shutdown initiated.
God, I'm so sick of that. You haven't gained the competence yet to actually create your vision the way you want to see it. So again, like I'm creating this channel, if you're somebody who wants to speak truth to power, or maybe you have your own channel, reach out to me. Let me know. I'd love to have you on. Maybe we can have a chat. And again, I'm working very hard to make sure that this thing is a success and that this movement can move forward and we can get more candidates like Donald Trump and probably people like yourself out there to actually take America back. My name is Lucius Coal, the Sanity Stream. If you like this type of content, go down below, like, subscribe, share, and of course leave a comment if you think I deserve it. The Coal Factory and the Coal Train on our way to 1,000 Patriots strong, thanks to people like you watching content like this. See you guys in the next one. Love ya. Peace. Coal Train